and how you can use its features. So the goals would be to be able to understand how Brightspace works and what utilities you can get out of it and how it can support you during your student life at TU Delft. And also get familiar with the study culture at TU Delft, because lots of courses are tied to Brightspace, so your progress throughout the study period will rely on how you can navigate Brightspace throughout the study period. Finally, you can also explore options to learn Dutch when you come here, if you aren't already a Dutch student. So this helps you inculcate the language culture here, so you can fit in a lot better. Moving on. We're going to show you first how you can sign in to Brightspace. So for this, I'll start sharing my screen. Yes, here we are. Basically, you can start off with a simple Google search, Brightspace TU Delft. And when you click here, you get to sign in with your net ID and your password. We believe everyone must have received an email asking you to activate your net ID with TU Delft student email address. If you haven't done that already, this is the time to do it. And when you sign in, this is the interface that you see upon signing in. You will see My Home, tabs like My Home, My Timetable, My TU Delft, Catalog, Resources, and Help. But essentially, this gives you an overview of the courses that you can follow. Because I followed a course last quarter, this is showing up for me. But let's get started with finding a course that you can enroll for. To do that, you should click on Catalog. And this is where a collection of all courses taught at TU Delft can be found. So you can simply start off with searching for a course. You either use the course code or the course name. I'm going to start searching for the Introduction Program course. Introduction and Program. As you can see, there are several results for this. You will see there's one for fall 2022-23, fall 23-24, that's this year, and spring from earlier this year. So what applies to you as a incoming TU Delft student would be Introduction Program Fall 2023-2024. And when you click on that, you can log in to enroll. And that's enrollment complete. And you can click on Launch Course. And that's the announcement page for Brightspace. What do you see here? Welcome to the Introduction Program. You will see plenty of announcements that your course manager would post throughout the period of your course, but this is basically what notifications you receive. And you have a section for content where you find study material. For example, you have Welcome to TU Delft. You have multiple sections within this that you can navigate to find information you need. Would anyone like to tell a little bit about collaboration, how your experience has been, where you had to use?
In my case, yes. With group projects in IDE, we sometimes have to form our own groups.
Oh, yeah.
So in this case, we would go to collaboration, and there would be a group self-enrollment tab, like you see.
Right.
And a lot of times, you would find a list here with pre-made groups with a set number of spots, which you can assign yourself, and your group mates can also sign up to the same group. And that's how you form groups in that sense.
Exactly. And this is normally controlled by your course instructor. So unless they have not enabled this feature, you won't find it. But you also have a discussions forum. How has your experience been with them?
Discussions forum, suppose some the tutorials you receive in your lectures, and you have any doubt or you have to ask something to your professor or something, you can directly with certain keywords of your lecture number and something.
Yeah.
You can post the question there.
Right.
And then professors generally do go through over the weekend or somewhere whenever they have time.
Yeah.
Even it is open to all your colleagues, so they can also answer on behalf. And you can get answers and you can discuss about all the doubts and everything you have. And not just the technical doubts, but rather all the practical matters or where to find this, when the results will be there. So any type of discussion on any of the course can be done there.
Awesome. So for now, this page is empty, but I can show you an example of what the discussion page looks like. For example, we have this. And if you go to collaboration and discussions, you see different kind of categories, general questions, content related questions, and you see how many number of posts have been made. And when you enter the post, just like you said, use a keyword from a lecture, for example, and you see there are 0 replies or someone has viewed it, something like that. Okay, back to introduction program. Well, this toolbar that you see with the square is basically where you can search for courses that you have enrolled for. So now that I've enrolled for the introduction program, I can search for it. So this is 2023, 24, and I'm back. Okay, moving on. We also have a virtual classroom where you have recordings for the lectures normally. This would be empty for now, of course. Has anyone had experience with these meetings? Any virtual sessions for you?
Not true.
No. Okay.
For me, that time I think we used more like Collectorama.
Oh, yeah.
Or not the Brightspace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had to use both virtual classroom, and this one is a multi-window setup where you have a separate window for screen share, a separate window for the camera that's pointed at your instructor, and a separate window for the audio. So it's 3 different files. When you try downloading it, it's more complicated, but with Collectorama, that's also another recording.
But Collectorama is a live sessions recording.
Exactly.
Your lectures are recorded live in the
We'll
lecture.
go over it too. Yes. Okay. Moving on. We have, let's go back to the Brightspace homepage. So now that I've enrolled for the introduction program course, it will appear here for me, depending on which year it is, which year and quarter it is taught in. But you can also pin this course to save it for your convenience. And all announcements related to the courses that you have enrolled for will show up here. So there's plenty, graduations, blah, blah, blah. But apart from that, you can also enroll for courses specific to your faculty. So that's important announcements about events happening in your faculty. So for example, here you see a graduation of a fellow student at your faculty, and you can go there to attend. All right, let's see how my timetable works. This is empty. Of course, I have to add it. To add, you need to log in again. And for now, because it's summer vacation, there's no events. But to add a course or a calendar for your timetable, this is where you can do it. Click on Add Timetable. I would recommend adding course by course because you might have electives and you don't want to be bothered by the schedule of a course that you're not following. So in that case, click on course and search with a course code or the name, for example. And I would add, I know this one that was starting next month. Fundamentals of Marine Engineering. There we go. So I add timetable and it appears. So you see an overview and it starts Tuesday, 5th of September. And there's a time, but you might be wondering, where is the location? So here it is. You find this lecture hall F at certain building. And you might need to get familiar with the terminology of faculty buildings like 3B. Civil engineering is CEG,
CEG,
and IDE for industrial design engineering. So those terms is something you'll get used to eventually.
And then you just add draft, right?
Yes, and this will also show you when an exam is due, so you can select the kind of activity that you're looking for. So if you have an exam that you're looking for, it's this option. So you need to select none and examination. So then it only shows the examination for you. But, well, where's the exam? I guess it's not on schedule yet. That's the thing. This timetable is only tentative, so it's a draft version. And you don't see all lectures and the entire academic calendar yet. But by the start of the academic year, I think, so that's 4th of September, everything should be available. Okay. Is there anything you want to add with my timetable?
No, the most important thing is like just to link this my timetable with your phone timetable as well, because not every time you access your laptop in the morning.
True.
But your phone is always handy to keep your timetable.
Yeah. What I do is I add this timetable to my Google Calendar, so that I can have the widget on my phone and I see all your planned lectures.
And you can do that by clicking on Connect Calendar, choose whichever, and it appears.
I mean, I have hardly opened this portal since I have already connected with
what
my
I
phone.
experience usually when I enroll for courses, most of the time they get uploaded to my timetable as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not sure how that works with you guys.
Okay, lovely. Back to Brightspace homepage. We have my TU Delft. What's my TU Delft?
It's all about your academic life in TU Delft.
Woo, yes. Let's switch to English for convenience.
Just make sure you access that when you are alone.
So this is another platform where you can see your study progress or enroll for examinations. But depending on your faculty, this might also be a place where you have to enroll for courses.
Yeah.
Normally, enrolling for courses can be done via Brightspace, but you can check this requirement on the TU Delft webpage, where you can see based on your study program and your faculty, whichever applies is what you have to use. So for now, let's see, there's a calendar, this is empty, this is probably where your lectures will show up. And then there's grades, I'm not showing my grades. And we have progress and messages. We have news items for TU Delft, basically, and the enroll option. This is an interesting one, because when you have a course with an exam, you must enroll 14 days prior to the exam date.
Yeah.
And to do that, you click on test and basically search for the program, the course that you want to write. And well, I don't think I can find anything for now because enrollment must have been closed for everything. But you search either by course name or course code. And please make sure you also check the year. So you enroll for the right
and make sure make sure you enroll for exams, otherwise you are not allowed to give exams.
True. That's something some people might learn the hard way, but please try to stay in the loop and be in time. Okay, that's mostly about my TU Delft. Then we are going back to resources. Let's see. Yes, you have plenty of resources that you can attend to here at TU Delft, starting with career and counseling services. They offer plenty of workshops throughout the year and basically a lot of advice on your career and how you want to progress after you have done studying. This also helps you build your interpersonal skills to, crack those interviews that you might be worried about. So that's something you can check out when you're interested in those kind of events. Then we have Collectorama. That's also what Sapik mentioned earlier. This is the online streaming live recording site.
Yeah.
And you might find that not all courses can be found here. So let's see, civil engineering.
Okay.
What do we have here?
You have a lot over there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And just you go to maybe MSc.
MSc.
And then you have like MSc Civil Engineering.
Yes. Oh.
It's forbidden. Can you
All
just
right,
go back?
let's go
maybe?
back.
Oh, I think you're
Back.
Your
Or
Explorer crest, I guess.
let's go back.
Maybe try once more.
Collectorama. Is it the internet?
No, I think it's Collectorama itself. It sometimes behaves differently.
Please. So for someone who's asking if they have not received the invitation to introduction program, please write us an email to ipsummer2023@tudelft.nl.
Yeah, now it's working, so can you just refresh it? Maybe. Or maybe skip it, we can try it later maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
no problem. We also have plenty of readers here at TU Delft. Has anyone had to use readers during your study program?
Yeah, so it's usually a collection of articles or
Notes made
chapters,
by...
notes made by your professors that
Exactly.
they bundled and put online for you to
True.
use for the course.
This can be handy if you're like wondering what to do next before you start your study program. So you have like a month's time. This is basically what I did, just waiting until the academic year began. So these are easy to download and for free. So you can find interesting topics to read on. So some might be in Dutch, depending on your study program. If that was taught in Dutch, then you will find notes in Dutch.
Yeah, but more or less I think master's courses are already in English.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But this is a collection for all faculties. So you have 3ME, you have civil engineering, EV, so a lot.
IO and yeah.
Indeed. And you have open textbooks as well. But you can also purchase them if you would like a hard copy. And for that, you would just have to go to the library and collect them from there. Okay, that's readers for us. And moving on to the software download. What is software download?
If your study requires any software like CAD modeling, like Rhino or SolidWorks, there's a lot in there, calculating programs or like MATLAB or IDMAT.
Many of them.
So any software that you might need for your studies, some of them will be provided by the TU Delft, and you can find the download links here with the instruction on how to download them and have the right keys to enable the download and start using the software.
Exactly. So basically this is very straightforward. So for example, if I want to download ANSYS, you have the download version that you need to download, and you have installation instructions. So if you need to use a license key, all that information can be found here. And you can also find installation instructions here. There's a PDF. So once you go through the PDF, you will find very descriptive step-by-step illustration of how the download should be done. So it's very straightforward, and you can find the software throughout your study period. And these come in handy, especially with assignments that you need to do for your courses. And they can all be found here. Some software updates, maybe once in 6 months or once in 1 year, every year. So sometimes you might find that a version that you downloaded is not active anymore because the activation key is not valid anymore. So then you might have to try a new activation key for the version. Yeah. Do we have any questions so far?
Yeah, we have one or maybe two.
Yeah.
Can you explain how to enroll for Dutch courses?
All right.
Yeah, that's always a struggle to do so.
First off, I guess you can simply find it with a easy search, TU Delft Dutch course. And there are a variety of courses, I believe. Oh, this page is not available for now. But essentially, you can, if you know the course name, or you can type in Dutch. Let's see, is there, oh yeah. This is the recommended course for beginners, the preliminary program for Dutch elementary. It's something I've enrolled for, which I'll be taking next quarter. But when you enroll, you will see here that there's an important announcement that there's steps to follow for the enrollment procedure, and that you need to be available on certain times to give a test and to appear for the lectures. So it depends on which Dutch language course you want to follow. This is a 3-credit course, but there are several others and you can find them all in the catalog. But there must also be an overview of Dutch language courses on the TU Delft website, but at the moment it is not available.
But yeah.
So when the academic year begins, you'll probably find that page again.
And for the credits and all, although they are included, they are credit-based courses, but you have to confirm from your study planner whether they account for your 120 credits to get a degree or not. Generally, they don't. Yeah, they are like free credit courses, which you can have the credits, but that doesn't mean like you can pass by 170.
Amount to your elective space.
Yeah.
And to do that, you can, well, if you are already making plans on how to guide your study plan, you can just search for TU Delft study guide, and you will find all courses that are relevant to your study program. So for 2023, for example, for me, based on program, I have a master marine technology. I have all courses that I can follow in the first year. There are some obligatory ones, there are some recommended ones, and there are also electives. So there's ethics courses for me that I can take as an elective, and I can pick and choose basically.
Yeah.
So that is it. Moving on, do we have more questions on this?
One more question is there. By when do we have to enroll for the classes?
For classes?
I mean, yeah.
Courses
perhaps.
There's not a...
I believe
when
you first enroll for a master course, master degree, for the first quarter or semester, you will be automatically enrolled for the courses that are relevant to that course.
And this only depends again on the faculty, I think.
Depends on the faculty, but I remember from IDE, at least, we usually get enrolled for all the courses in the first semester.
Right, okay.
And then you only have to pick up like enrolling for the second semester, and then you usually, I don't know how that's with your faculties, but you usually enroll semester per semester.
Okay.
So you do it before Feb and before the end of the summer.
No, for civil engineering it's a bit different. How we used to do was like you have your faculty introductions, and by then they are like all the professors are being directed to open their courses, and then it's on you what courses you want in first quarter, and then you just, as Shushma told, go to Brightspace, go to catalog, search for your courses which you want to take, and then just enroll.
Yeah. And if it isn't already available on Brightspace, that means the professor has not
activated it.
Yeah.
And it's generally they have to.
Yes.
But it's just like they missed on it.
Yeah.
So you just mail them like I tried to enroll in that, but I could not find it, and hence they will open it.
In my experience, finding courses, it might even take the first week of the academic year also. So some professors still not have uploaded their course on Brightspace, even when the when the academic year has begun. So during your introduction week, you can ask your program coordinator about things like that and see how long you can wait. Normally, it's acceptable that the first week you can still enroll for courses, unless it's an elective where there are limited spots and you have to enroll much ahead in advance, something like that.
There's one more question. I'll answer the rest, but I am taking just one related to the course.
Yes.
Is there any option to withdraw from a course just in case?
Yes, there is. Good question. Let's see. To do that, go to catalog, my courses, to unenroll basically, and you find options to unenroll.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And you get a confirmation email on your student email address afterward.
Yeah, so why would you do this?
Yeah.
For example, I think if you take an elective and it turns out you don't find it that relevant or you don't like the material that much, you could decide to unenroll, to remove it altogether from your grades list.
Yes.
Because if you do keep it in your enrollment list, you'll receive, and you don't take the exam or don't do the deliverables at the end, you'll receive like not NA.
Yeah. Did not attend.
You didn't do anything for it. That will be on your record.
Right.
Won't count for your GPA, but it's kind of...
Yeah. I mean, why would you want to see that? Right. And these are also sorted based on upcoming, past, or pending. Because for some courses, you have to enroll in advance. And sometimes there are waiting lists. So if you have passed the enrollment period, but then it's still possible to enroll, you go onto a waiting list and the course instructor approves of your request. But sometimes it most likely that your request is denied because the capacity might have already been reached.
Yeah.
Any questions more?
Oh, no, I mean, like, there's one more. Is there any way to know the description of the course?
Oh, that's also what we were
Study
going to
guides,
show you on the
actually.
study guide. When you look it up, as we showed earlier, you have different courses and a course description, along with what prerequisites you need and how the course is carried out during the quarter, what requirements there are, like do you have to do assignments, do you have to give an exam, how many credits do each component have. So all that information can be found here, and you can find the course code here as well. So that's what you can take as reference to find on the course catalog. But overall, study guide may not be as updated as Brightspace. So if you find, conflicting information between the course study guide and the course catalog, the Brightspace course catalog is what might be more applicable.
And more or less the first lecture of all the courses being given in the uni is all about this.
Yes.
So you can attend that and you have a better picture how the course will be like.
Sure.
Yeah, how it will be structured and what they will teach you.
How the assessment will be, what
They
they're going to
usually
teach.
run you through the course manual.
Yeah.
So please do not miss your first lecture unless there was a very unavoidable circumstance for you.
Yeah.
That's also where you learn important tips about the grading of the course. Like if you have multiple elements with assignments, exams, individual assignments, maybe group assignments, those practical information is given out in that lecture.
Yeah, and in the beginning of the lecture, like in the early lectures, only you make your groups for assignments as well.
True.
So in general, those first two lectures are the deciding. Otherwise, you are the last one, and you have to find people to be in group.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you're still not lost anyway, but you would rather avoid that situation. But if you do encounter that, feel free to contact your course instructor and they will try to fit you into another group if that's possible. All right, let's go back to the home page. So we've covered up to software download. And with reference to software download, you might want to check that your device, your laptop or computer is compatible with those software. But if it is not, you do have the option of purchasing a new laptop through TU Delft's the laptop project. There are 3 different models that you can choose from with different price ranges, and they are and you can also check their compatibility for your study program. Information for that can simply be found on the TU Delft laptop project page. So when you search for TU Delft laptop project, you will find it with all the criteria. So models, advice, order procedure, etc., etc. Okay, moving on, we have the student portal. Aha! Has anyone never used this one in your experience?
I have. I have not used it, but I know about it.
You know about it, okay. And what about you?
I have seen it. I haven't searched for it this literally. Like, I know that.
Yeah.
I usually end up Googling and then I end up here.
Find it here. Well, this is also a very handy collection of information. So when you're looking for information related to education, especially with courses or examinations, you can find it here. And this could also be faculty specific sometimes. There are regulations that only apply to your study program, for example. So I could go to my faculty and look up my master program and see what regulations there are. And this could be something informative, especially when you have unexpected events in your study program and you have to see whether or not your study plan is still on course. But for advice on study planning, you can always reach out to your academic counselors. They're available at your faculty. You can make an appointment with them online or on campus. So feel free to share your thoughts about your study plan and get advice on it whenever you need it. Okay, this is the education portal. What I did want to show you guys is, this is my faculty. One moment. Let me go back. There. All right, yes, we have courses and examination. Courses. So as we talked earlier, there's an enrollment and an enrollment procedure. This might vary depending on your faculty, and that can be found here. So you can be certain that you have actually enrolled and haven't missed out on the enrollment period. So when you do it, for example, CG, Master and Bachelor, you only need to enroll via Brightspace.
Yep. That's what I did.
But if you're a master student at 3ME doing technical medicine, you will have to enroll via TU Delft, my TU Delft, and not Brightspace. And it will not be valid if you enroll via Brightspace. And that's some information to keep in mind. And you also have general information about regulations on examinations, on fraud and plagiarism, and also how to deal with online proctored examinations. Yeah. I haven't given an online proctored examination. Has anyone of you given one?
No.
Okay.
Never.
Not yet. No. Okay. Cool. I guess that was something.
No, but the rule is simple. Rule is simple. Don't cheat. Don't cheat.
Exactly. And be on time. Normally.
Yeah.
I guess the allowance is 30 minutes late, right? Up to 30 minutes late, you're allowed, and afterwards.
Also, when you enroll late for an exam, you'll be put in the later list. So you'll get the chance to enter the room if there's still spots available after half an hour after the test has started.
Yeah. So. Okay. All right. Okay. Then we also have the academic calendar, probably something you've already seen. So this is how you can use to plan maybe activities outside of the university. So you can see there are plenty of holidays, and so break time, exam weeks. That's when. So there's let me show you. There's a week called White Week. Right?
Yeah. Usually the quarters are made up of 10 weeks.
Yes.
And then in the week 10, you usually have exams or major deadlines. So what they do is the white week is usually the week before that exam week. They try to avoid having lectures or any other deadlines or classes.
True.
So they do have all the time to study or work on your projects.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but it also depends on faculty to faculty again.
Yeah.
Are there more questions for us?
Not yet. But maybe we can go ahead.
All right.
With the session,
I am back to the homepage. All right.
Maybe the presentation.
Collectorama we missed?
Oh yeah, maybe. But yeah, you can show.
All right.
Maybe check for another, I don't know.
Faculty.
Yeah.
Aerospace. This looks okay. Aerospace engineering?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this
Then
works.
Now you go to your video channel.
And so we're now on Collectorama, where you can see recordings of past lectures if they have been made. So we're in the Aerospace Engineering Master, and you see different courses here. Whisk flows, but these videos are extremely old. So maybe the content has changed. This is not always relevant to the study that you're doing currently, perhaps. So this can only be used for reference. You might also try to find out from your course instructor if the material covered in these videos is still relevant. These come especially handy when you're preparing for an exam. So you try to recall everything that you have learned through the 8 weeks of time.
Yeah.
And it's also handy if you're doing a resit after you have finished the study in the first quarter and you have to do a resit in the next quarter. So it's been a long time since you attended those lectures and you only have your notes. So if you want to connect it to the lectures given by your instructor, you can use these recordings. All right.
We have a question.
Yes.
Are Apple laptops highly discouraged in TU Delft? Now we can answer because he is using a MacBook right now.
Well, good question. I as an IDE student,
Yeah.
design student, I've only recently switched to MacBooks.
Okay.
Okay.
Or to a MacBook.
Yeah.
I have multiple. So for most of the software, I believe, like the CAD programs, you do need a Windows or Linux
Yeah.
True.
operating system.
Yeah.
So
So
if you definitely rely on those softwares for your studies, I would recommend going for the Windows or Linux.
Yeah.
Probably Windows.
and I believe the laptops in the laptop project are also.
They are always So there is a laptop project sponsored. It's deals created by the TU Delft where you can get a high-end laptop for a competitive price.
Yeah.
They're discounted from what you would find them in any store.
Yeah.
So they are sought after, or they are based on the programs that you would use for your programs, study programs. But if you really like Apple and you do need to use those programs, even though they're not available as a software download for MacBooks, you do have computers on the TU Delft that you can use and which have all these softwares installed.
Yes. And sometimes if it's not installed, you can make a request with your professor and still manage. I remember there was a time when my laptop broke down and I had to work on MATLAB, and it was not pre-installed on one of the computers, so I had to make a request and it worked perfectly fine.
So if you work on campus, you can still use the same software, but on the local PCs that they have. But also there is a sort of web page where you can log in with your NetID.
Sure, let's show that.
And sort of emulate the desktop PCs at TU Delft, but on your own laptop from anywhere. So for that, you just have to sign into the TU Delft network Eduroam. Yeah.
So there's a feature called TU Delft Web Login. Oops. Okay. And when you go here, you basically enter a virtual environment. So it's a virtual desktop that you can operate. And for this, you would require to install the TU Delft VPN.
Yeah.
I understand. And
since we're on the network now.
Yeah, for now we are on Eduroam. That's the TU Delft Wi-Fi. So you don't really need VPN for it, but let me try showing it. Do we have it? Let's see. So, it's Citric Workspace, yes. So it's a remote desktop that you can access. Let's see. Taking a while there. I haven't used this in such a long time. Oh, there we are. Yes. This is such a familiar site because this is what you see on all screens in the lecture rooms. So yeah, when you go to software, I suppose some are installed here.
Maybe Microsoft Word or something.
Yeah, but there should be others as well, right?
Yeah, there. No, I think you have to download on your interface and then it will be shown all the time.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So you can also use this interface in case you cannot download it on your MacBook.
Yeah. So I'm now able to access a Windows PC virtually on my MacBook.
Yeah.
So a perfect alternative.
If you really like the MacBook.
Yeah. All right. It's perfect.
It does, however, depend on your connectivity at home, of course,
true,
or wherever you
true.
are. Yeah.
Do we have more questions? Let's see.
Maybe we can go ahead with the presentation.
Okay. So let's continue on. So we basically showed you around the features of Brightspace. So you can go to the discussions forum to find information about posts made by your fellow students. And we've shown you a little bit about TU Delft. You can also find this information if this was a little bit of an overload during such a short time. You can find all this information on our Brightspace course. This will be uploaded, this presentation will be uploaded on our Brightspace course. So you also get to familiarize yourself in finding the information that has been uploaded to your Brightspace course. So it's your first attempt and we wish you good luck. So it will be pretty straightforward. You can easily find it under content, the tab under our Brightspace course. There's specific instructions to go over it and easy navigation. So it leads you to where you need to go. My timetable, click on my timetable on the Brightspace page and then you add timetable. Software portal, examination regulations, and we're almost there because registrations close tomorrow, and this way we wanted to remind you all that the registrations will close tomorrow, and this is your last chance to sign up for the IP, both on our social lab as well as for the 5-day on-campus program. So if you haven't received an invitation, please write to us to ipsummer2023@tudelft.nl. Feel free to check your inbox or spam folders so that you can look whether or not you received the invitation before contacting us. And that's mostly it. Feel free to also connect with your fellow students, because once you have registered on our social lab, there are plenty of chat rooms for you to make new friends, get familiar with your study program, ask questions, find people that are going through the same thing as you. Do we have anything else to that?
One question apart from this Brightspace, it's like, hi, where are we going to be gathering on Monday for the start of the IP campus week? For that, what happens or what the process is, you will be assigned to a particular team, and the team will be headed by a coach. And you will be put into a WhatsApp group like 3 days or 4 days before the program starts, and the coach will be there, and he will be deciding or she will be deciding where to meet on campus in the beginning of the program. And then there onwards, you will meet your team and everything.
Right. And in case you are arriving later than Monday or sometime later than before the opening ceremony, please inform your coach and your fellow teammates that you will be arriving late, so then you can arrange for a meetup when you arrive. So then you can directly reconcile with your team and find where they are on campus.
One more question.
Yes.
Is it possible to buy a laptop from the laptop project only after we arrive to Netherlands? Asking because both payment methods for buying it requires us to have a Netherlands bank account.
See?
Yeah, so The answer to that question, so the laptop project is this webpage that we'll show you now. So when you go there, usually it opens just before the start of the new academic year.
Okay.
And they buy in laptops in some quantity.
Okay.
So basically the laptops will last as long as the stock is available.
Okay.
But what I've noticed is that it usually remains available throughout the year until April, because every year they renew the models.
Right.
So the site will be down from April to, let's say, June-ish. Because then they will renew the models that are listed and make new deals for the upcoming students. But meaning you don't have to buy the laptop right now. You can still take your time, settle in, see how maybe the PCs at the TU Delft work, and if you can manage with that.
Yeah.
Or if you would require your own laptop and
Because I also thought like I'll go there and look if I need a laptop, because I have just a small office laptop. But I think I never needed another laptop. Everything worked out on this. So it also depends.
Yeah, true. Okay.
We can have 10 minutes more, so maybe we can ask for questions and stuff.
Are there more questions for us? Maybe about what we've gone through so far, about Brightspace, or about the introduction week, the 5-day on-campus program? Please let us know in the chat box now.
Is there any brand of laptop you recommend?
We don't do brand promotions, but I think TU Delft suggests the HP.
Yeah, TU Delft always lists HP laptops.
Yeah, HP laptops. Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Because they are workstation laptops,
And
so they are. I must say, I don't know, should I do that?
I think
I think CPU wise they're well equipped.
Yeah.
GPU is less
Okay.
less nice. So for heavy graphic work,
Right. Not recommended.
they're like for video editing, they're not that great.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know if you can see or not. We three are not even using HP. So
No, what I see a lot of people do is since these are workstation laptops that are purely made for professional use.
yeah.
Right.
So what I see a lot of people do is they get a sort of gaming laptop, which also has a better GPU.
Yeah.
That's usually. They just come in a plastic casing, which also makes them a little less expensive sometimes.
And to purchase new laptops, there are also websites that are reliable here. I wouldn't buy a laptop from Amazon. I don't think so.
No, Amazon is usually resellers.
Yes. So there's plenty of other websites like Bolt.com or Coolblue.
Yeah.
We have questions.
Yes. Oh yeah.
No, because we have to answer everything. So, will we automatically enroll for the courses of the Q1?
Depends on your study program and faculty.
But more or less for Q1, you are already enrolled in the courses.
Please ask this question during your introduction, faculty introduction.
Yeah.
Because you will still have time to enroll by then if it's already available as a course. But this basically depends on your study program and faculty. For me, basically, I had to enroll all courses myself, even though those were obligatory courses, because you can choose not to take them in the first year and take them in the second year. Something like that.
Now we have a lot of questions, so maybe keep it short. Do I need to be connected to the university network to use the softwares?
Yes.
For some of them, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not for all.
Right.
And when you use that emulator, the virtual desktop, you do have to use the VPN.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything we need to bring with us for the IP Campus Week except the QR code for the IP?
Your country's flag.
Yeah.
One.
And
For the flag photo.
True.
yeah.
That's most
And maybe an ID card would be handy.
Yeah, please carry ID on you. Perhaps not your passport, because
Yeah.
you might lose it. That's recommended.
In your experience, do we need to take our laptop every day for classes, or it's really course dependent? For me,
Yes.
every day, yes. I mean, yeah. And you get used to it because you never know whatever comes up.
Yeah, personally, I also never travel without.
Yeah, I think it's always there, and everyone brings their laptop.
Yeah, even if you don't need it, it's better to have it.
Yeah.
Helps, yes.
Except maybe when you have some lab day.
Yeah, lab day or like the.
Or in my case, like prototyping, you're like really hands-on with something, you could decide not to.
Yeah. For the on-campus IP, should I have a sleeping place in Delft or is it fine to travel with the train?
Sorry?
I mean...
Depends on where you stay.
Yeah.
Netherlands is a small country, but traveling can still be exhausting, so...
For the on-campus IP, he's asking that whether should
they should travel...
I mean, it depends.
I think we start generally at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
It's manageable.
So it is manageable to...
Not to sleep in Delft and still make it to IP.
Yeah.
But but generally we don't encourage to be late on campus.
Yes.
EEMCS seems to be a special faculty that do not conform to Brightspace. Can I know why?
What does that mean?
Maybe the portal you showed, like where you have to get it through my TU Delft or the Brightspace. There's a confusion, like why EEMCS or EEMCS? How you call this faculty? EEMCS?
EEMCS.
Yeah.
TU Delft Education. I have it here.
No, meanwhile I'll answer the rest.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Are there any sports courses? Yes, definitely, but they're managed by not TU Delft directly, but we have on campus a sports facility which is called X. So if you Google for tudelft.nl/X, you'll end up on their website.
And a lot of courses are
there.
there.
They have a lot of different courses: sports, arts, culture.
Are there monitors available to connect to our laptop? Yeah. Certain rooms or project rooms in your faculty, they have certain rooms where you can just go and use the monitors as your extra screen. And you can work on that.
Yeah, usually the PC rooms, you can't disconnect the screen from the PC, but there are also rooms that only have screens for you to connect.
Right, and to get back to the other question about EEMCS, for a master student you can still enroll via Brightspace, so it's all right.
Yeah, for masters it's all about like it can be done through
through Brightspace. Any other questions?
When will we get information about our student buddies? I mean, they mean coaches, I guess.
But this could be the faculty student buddies.
Okay, the study mentor or something.
Yeah. If that is the case, you should have already received information because that normally begins 1 week prior to the start of the academic year.
But that depends from faculty. I never got any mail regarding civil engineering. They generally don't do that.
Did you have a student
No,
buddy?
they don't do that. But we had like the civil engineering student ambassador thing from last year, where you are just assigned with the ambassador studying civil engineering.
Right.
And yeah, it's more like a student buddy. You can always ask a question or you can have a personal sessions.
Right. For members from 3ME, you should have already received information about your summer buddy. It's already been 3 weeks now since I am also a summer buddy. So if you haven't reached out to your summer buddy yet, please do so now. You should have received an email from 3ME 3 weeks ago. Yeah. Anything else?
Now we have like 2-3 minutes more, so we can wait for more questions.
All right.
I don't think so. Yeah, but still.
Okay, so let's talk about the on-campus program then. What is something you guys are looking forward to the most? Delft Got Talent.
No, actually, although it's been like my 4th IP, I am looking forward to it because this year we are doing a lot.
Yeah, true.
More than last year's, and hope so. It's gonna be fun for sure.
And it won't be as fun if you guys don't show up, so please be there and register.
I mean,
anything else?
I will not be able to attend the on-campus IP program since I'll be driving in Delft on Wednesday. Any activities you suggest outside of IP? Okay, for that,
Well, go ahead.
still don't consider yourself that you will not be part of IP. We are trying on having everyone on board. You're gonna be hearing from us soon. But if you have asked any activities outside the IP, you can always go to the website of IP, and we have a lot of welcome activities in line.
Activity market, you can always go to. What was that? Elective lectures.
Yeah.
So all these events are open. So despite the fact that you arrive late, you can still attend them. But you may not have a group, but you'll receive further information about this from us after the registration closes.
And every evening there is like a welcome activities by different associations or evening events at X, which are always fun to go and meet new fellow people other than.
And there's also the Base Festival on Thursday. That's also organized by an umbrella of international associations. So you can meet a lot of people there, learn about international cultures. It's a fun event.
Yeah. The only reason we are not incorporating the people coming on Wednesday, I mean, the most important part of our program is also the project work.
Yes, and it starts Tuesday, early morning. Yeah,
and it starts Tuesday early morning. So we encourage to everyone to be there at least
by 9:30.
By 9 or 9:30 on Tuesday.
All right.
Yeah, I think.
Is that all?
I think it's all. Yeah.
Great, awesome. So please feel free to write us an email if you have any questions about the introduction program, or if you haven't been able to register yet because the deadline is very close. And that's all from us. We are excited to welcome you all on campus. So see you guys in a few days. Bye.
And do register if you haven't. Bye bye.
Bye bye.